And welcome back, everybody. This is Movies and Beyond. I am Callum. That's Kyle. Kyle, you've had a day off. How's it been? You done all exciting? You gone fishing? You gone for a walk? You got some head off head
No,
pull?
just no, just buying some prezzies.
Buying some prezzies.
Mm-hmm.
Who for? Me?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's the missus's birthday this month, so
It's
just been
it's second to
it's miss.
Toby Carvery.
Oh yeah, load up that plate, rev up that Bugatti.
Rev up the Bugatti. Right.
Pitch looking lovely today, lads.
Yep. What Kyle definitely didn't do for the missus's birthday is get her a ticket to Borderlands. Because it seems like nobody got tickets to Borderlands. Full disclaimer before we start talking about Borderlands. We ain't seen it, but we're going to talk about the box office. This is something that really didn't interest us. We actually had more conversation about going to see Deadpool again this weekend rather than going to see this. So, yeah. Now, this has made, Kyle, about $16.5 million worldwide. And it's made 8.8 in the US domestic box office. Let's just rattle through the US domestic box office for this weekend. So, Kyle, coming in at number one. What came in at number one?
Deadpool.
Deadpool and Wolverine with another $54 million in the bag. It ends with Us, which is the Blake Lively movie. That's just come out this weekend. That scored a 50 million. So I think that might have got a bit of a Ryan Reynolds bump, maybe.
Absolutely, I think so too. That's not to discourage the film. I haven't seen it,
Yeah.
nor am I probably going to see it. But it's nice when movies help each other out.
Yeah, I heard this weekend, I watched an interview with Blake Lively, and she says, it don't matter which film comes first, either way I win. Which is true. Twisters came in at number 3 with a 15 million. And then we get Borderlands at 4. Just beating Despicable Me 4 at the number 5 spot with 8 million. So,
That's on its opening as well.
that's on its opening weekend. So, what do we think the factors are leading into this? There's a pretty big one, and that's that it opened with a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, I think we talk about this all the time, and that's people don't understand how Rotten Tomatoes works. It's not Rotten Tomatoes gives it a score. It's an aggregate. People go on and review it. If people go on, 100 critics go on and give a film a 6 out of 10, it's going to be 100% certified fresh. So that's how it works. This came out with a 0 though, so that means nobody fucking liked it. When it
I think I
first...
saw like 1 or 2 positive reviews.
Yeah, I
On,
think
like,
it went up to 6%.
yeah.
So
Well, I remember it was on 4.
yeah. So what do you think the reasons are that this didn't even crack 10 million in the US?
A lot of things. So obviously, this movie, I'm pretty sure it was made quite a while ago.
Yes.
There's not much, if it's sort of released in unison with, say, like one of the Borderland
Just search
releases
the
or
budget. I've
something.
just searched the budget.
It's like 100 and something million, isn't it?
110 to 120 million.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, I didn't expect this to really sort of have anyone excited for it. It's like I've heard no one speak about it. The only reason I know this film is coming out is because I've seen like not adverts, but like sort of little posters you see at like bus stops. Like
Yeah.
that's all I've seen. Obviously, it has a pretty star-studded cast,
I
but
I fucking tell you why I knew this film was coming out. Because just outside the IMAX is a massive poster of what's playing.
oh yeah,
And me
yeah.
and Kyle had a plan was we had our matching t-shirts and we was gonna take a picture in front of the Deadpool and Wolverine poster outside the
But they had
IMAX.
this
They had
instead.
the fucking Borderlands poster up instead.
Yeah.
God fucking
So
damn it.
as I was saying, anyways, it's not a case of people don't like video game adaptations. You know, it's or movies. It's just this wasn't looking good from the get go. When the first trailer released, it really impressed nobody. I heard a lot of people saying, you know, and I agree with what they were saying. It looks like a high budget film, but with really shitty effects. And I heard as well, it feels like they've just got a load of celebrities, got them dressed up in cosplay from the game, and
Yeah.
just kind of took a camera into a desert and just kind of shot whatever they thought were funny.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Look at the cast: Jamie Lee Curtis, Kate Blanchett, Kevin Hart. There's some A-list names,
Yeah,
and it's like, what the fuck? Who let you
I
sign
feel
up to
like
this?
it would have been better if it was a low budget film, absolutely,
Yeah,
just because they would have been able to do some special things with this, make it help, stand out by itself. I'm disappointed that this flopped because it's just like another, you know, a punch in the gut for us gamers who, we'd like to see these things be,
yeah.
especially these things be successful. So, yeah, I think a lot of the budget is literally just on the cast.
You
Though
you want to go see Borderlands this weekend?
no, I played I think the second one um, briefly. It's a great game. I just can't sink that many hours into one
Yeah,
particular game. You know, I do like it, but again, it's not my cup of tea. I like the aesthetic of it. I like the idea of it.
yeah,
I just think it's a lot going on that I can't really jump onto.
yeah. Look, another thing going for this film is I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be R-rated, and then they cut it down to be PG-13. Just let a film be what it's gonna be. I don't get why.
I don't think that's a factor in why this
No,
didn't
I don't
badly
think
go.
it sorts the quality at all of the film. But yeah, I've just got no words because this, like you said, it's another way of kicking video game adaptations down when we've just had, The Last of Us. I'm pretty sure we've had another great one recently as well. If I can remember off the top of my head.
Well, we did. I can't remember.
There was something, wasn't there? There was something.
There was something. It's just gone blank in my head for some reason. We're gonna look really bad now that we've like, oh yeah, it's bad that it's doing this.
Um,
Uh, Fallout, fucking
yeah,
hell, Fallout.
Fallout.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now,
I
then
don't know
again,
why that skipped my mind, but yeah.
these are on a TV platform, so maybe
hmm
that's where we put gaming adaptations in the future. TV gives them a bit more of a
I don't
chance
know.
to.
I mean, I think you can definitely do it. Borderlands with all the stuff and the story plots and things like that. I feel like that would have worked probably better in a show. But whereas something like, say, let's say for example, they do name a game that let's say we've played.
Psychonauts,
Uh, Not that.
Helldivers.
Helldivers, yeah. Let's say because that will work better with a higher budget because you've got all the explosions. It's a big action thing. Unless they take it in a really serious route, which wouldn't work for Helldivers IP. You
Democracy.
know, in a if they did it in a show that way. So yeah, again, this is what I think Borderlands should have done. They should have done a show, absolutely.
Yeah. Right, well, moving on from losers, and we're going to winners. Deadpool and Wolverine has hit $1 billion at the worldwide box office. This film is slowly creeping up on Joker as well to be the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. I believe it's about 50 million behind it right now. I think it crosses that this weekend, through this weekend, this
Oh,
weekend.
I saw this as well. I thought I forgot to send it to you. Um, just thought you'd
Hell yeah.
appreciate.
Hell yeah. I did like the buns. So, Deadpool and Wolverine has hit $1 billion at the box office. Why? Because it's a great film. They marketed the fuck out of it, and the Hugh Jackman factor and the Ryan Reynolds coming together factor, them two together is another reason why. But let's not just think, glance over it. If this film were terrible, it would have made its money at the, up front, first weekend, maybe a little bit more in the second weekend, and then it would have died off. Because this film is great, it keeps making money. So, Kyle, what is one thing you think we can see now that this film's in the $1 billion club? What conversations do you think they're having at Disney, at Marvel?
Definitely the R rating being
Eight.
considered for more projects.
Yes, definitely. I think that's actually something I wasn't going to bring up, but that's actually great that you mentioned that, because you can't. It's like, oh, I can't have a R-rated comic book film and have it be successful. Well, right now, the highest grossing R-rated comic book film is the highest grossing R-rated film. The highest grossing R-rated film is a comic book film, and it's about to be overtaken by this. So I think Marvel actually starts to look at things now. We know they're considering it for Blade, if they ever get round to making Blade. There's something else that maybe they might do. But not for characters that aren't necessary, that need it. I'd definitely say Punisher, Daredevil on TV. Definitely give them that TVMA rating. So, where do you think this ends up now, box office wise? How much steam do you think it's got left in the tank? Because I'm seeing people who are still just seeing it for the first time.
I still think it's got a little bit of ways to go. Obviously, you've got Alien coming out very, very soon.
I think Alien's going to dethrone it this week.
Probably, well, very likely, yeah.
But that's still Disney winning, if it does.
Yeah. So, I don't know what else to say. It's just, it's kind of, you expected it. I would like to think that it could beat Joker.
I think it will. I think it's guaranteed that it's going to beat Joker now.
Yeah. So, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah. I think we're going to see this maybe end around the $1.2 billion mark. I think that's kind of where I'm seeing it going. But another thing, I think they are going to be having serious conversations with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds about doing something. Not necessarily Deadpool and Wolverine together, but doing something else together. Anything.
Yeah, it's in the cards, obviously, but it's just a case of, it's like the Blade, Blade 4 movie that sort of Ryan, a lot of people would like to see. But truthfully speaking, like being really grounded here, I don't think it'll happen just because they've got a lot of things they need to fix. I know we got a lot of comments about people wanting, obviously, Wesley Snipes to come back as Blade. Again, it's one of those things, it's like, it's not going to happen. I would love it to happen as well, personally. I'm not, but I'm trying to say is like, you can't have your head in the clouds with this. You've got to be realistic, and it's like, I don't see where they can fit something in.
Fit it in. Well, sometimes they make room. You got to look. They got Spider-Man. When they got the rights to Spider-Man, they've shifted the slate around a bit.
Yeah, but just with the massive redoing that they've already done, I don't think they're willing to change anything now. Marvel have had a very tough time lately, so if they were to change anything, it's only if it needs to. Now it's only if in dire need, change it.
But you don't see them maybe doing like an Elseworlds sort of spin-off stuff like DC's doing, because DC's going to have its main universe and then it's going to have separate stories that it tells.
Again, I mean, unless like another sort of someone comes along and says, "All right, yeah, I want to make," I don't think Marvel would let someone else take the helm of doing a Elseworlds like story with these characters.
Yeah.
Just because again they don't want to risk their reputation.
While we're in the middle of this interesting debate, I think we should go on to our next topic, because
Yeah.
it seems like it's going to be quite similar. Spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine, I guess. You've all seen the film already, though. It's made $1 billion. Gambit. Channing Tatum has confirmed that he is in talks with Kevin Feige about bringing his Gambit film to life. Now, there's two sides of this for me of will it happen and will it not happen. Look, I'm looking at it like, do I really, really think the Gambit film will happen? And if you'd have asked me 3 weeks ago, I'd have probably said 30% chance it happens, 70% chance it doesn't happen. As the weeks have gone on, I am very 50-50 about this now, sitting on the fence of like, I actually think this might happen, and I tell you why. So, back in 2021, we got a little show on Disney Plus, the first Marvel Cinematic Universe show, called WandaVision. Now, that was doing great numbers for Disney Plus. It were going up in viewers every week, and everyone was like, wow, this Agatha character, I like her. I just don't see, if Agatha can get a spin-off, why can't Gambit?
Yeah, but you of all people know how hard Marvel have
Yes,
worked to try
I
shit
do.
things. And I'm really surprised you're saying that because, like, if it were back then I'd be like, yeah, we'd already have a Gambit movie announced. But because they've actually reshifted things, I think what they've got now on their palette, they are trying to make sure works. You can't shoehorn something in there. They can't do that again. That's a mistake they're making, I personally think, because they did it. That's why the Disney Plus shows weren't that great. That's why a lot of the Marvel films haven't been that great. They just kind of shoehorn these things in, and it just didn't work.
Yeah. Right, before people get angry at you, though, do you want to see it?
Yeah, of course, I would love to see it. But I think you need to consider the right time for it to release.
Yeah, no, there
Because
definitely needs to be a right time for it to release. And look, Channing Tatum isn't getting any younger. He's getting older. And if we don't get a film with him, I'm 100% sure that we will probably see him in Avengers Secret Wars in a minor role. You know, just as like a little...
yeah, I mean, listen, right. It was nice that Channing got to play this role
Yeah.
after so many years of like the studios and stuff all being quite messy with the character. It's nice that we got this. I think we should just let's reel it in a little bit and be like, I'm happy with what we got in Deadpool
And I'm
Wolverine.
not saying it's 100% going to happen. I just think the chances are greater now than there was a couple weeks ago.
I don't know. I mean, shit, if you go by that logic, I mean, there's a 50% chance all of the characters in that film would get their own spin-off.
No, definitely not, because there's Elektra, who was great in it, but I don't think we'll get an Elektra spin-off. X-23, I don't think we'll get an X-23 spin-off. I think she's going to be just with Logan now. They're going to come as a two. If we get anything else from him. Blade. That's another one. We know Ryan Reynolds is pushing for that. I don't think he would have mentioned Alt like that if he didn't at least speak to Wesley and see if he wanted to do it. And Channing Tatum as Gambit is another one. I think if we're going to get any, it'd be Blade and Gambit.
Again, I want to emphasize, I would like to see these projects come to light, but I doubt it. Again, Marvel have had to redo things. They've had to change everything about, had to make sure this works leading up to the Avengers films, because you can't push those Avengers films back any further. You brought the Russo brothers back, and I'm pretty sure they're dead set on a plan here.
Don't think they would, but there is still Marvel dates on the calendar which have no films attached to them.
It's still
and look, I'm going to say this as well. If they can come to, like I said about Blade, if they can come to him with a great script, if it makes sense, then it gets made. If they don't, if it don't make sense, if they don't see it working for them, then it don't get made. But I don't, the way they'd write it now, it wouldn't just be a Gambit movie that we were getting, 7 years ago. It would be a Gambit movie that fits in to what's going on now.
Yeah, no, I get that. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I still don't think it's in the realm of possibility. It's just
you don't even think there's a 10% chance that this could happen.
I'd say there's a 10% chance, but I won't go any higher than 10% chance.
All right, well, fair enough, but that's fine, Kyle. That's fine.
You seem really
No, look, we both want to see it.
Yeah.
I'd say he was definitely my favourite of the cameos.
Agreed.
And he were doing an interview and he would have said, they told him to dial up the Cajun accent that he did to make it more ridiculous. But yeah, look, this is something I want to see, and I just want to will it into existence.
Shit, I wish.
And
I
look,
could will a lot of things
it's
into
not like
existence.
it's the Blade situation where it's like Ryan's like, guys, don't you think we should have this? He has said that they're having talks. They're talking about it right now. Which, sometimes talks come to nothing. But I am very much out of the camp of this is very unlikely that this gets made, and now I'm in the spot of like, this could get made. Look, weirder things have happened. We had a Marvel slate for ages, and then for some reason it was like, oh yeah, boom, we're putting an Ant-Man and a Wasp film just after Avengers Infinity War. That like came out of nowhere. We knew that were coming once they started shooting it. I was like, oh yeah, we're shooting this. So it was like, oh, okay. It's going to come out just after Infinity War.
Yeah, and you've got that other element as well of if they bring this film out and, let's say they have a good script, but unfortunately maybe they have to rush it to just get it out there before, say, Avengers. You might end up with a not so great film. That is also big factor.
That's a possibility.
Yeah,
that is a possibility.
There's a higher chance of being a
but
not.
That's...
It has a but it has a higher chance of being a not so great film because this is something that wasn't initially planned.
But some of the best stuff wasn't initially planned. Like, look at Spider-Man No Way Home. They had the plan. And then, for Civil War as well. And then No Way Home happened. Spider-Man were put in Civil War. Sometimes these things can create great situations. Now, look, like I say, I'm with you. We do need to not have, like, this recency bias and, like, this has just happened. It's just made $1 billion. That's going in its favour as well. But we do need to look at things, be like, really? Could it really happen? And that's why I'm saying I'm 50-50 on it now. It's, it's not like I'm going 80% this is definitely happening. I'm going, look, this could happen now or it couldn't. But like I was saying, you've got to admit with me. You've got to admit it. There is a greater chance of this happening now than there was 3 weeks ago.
I'll say this. This has a better chance than the Blade 4 movie that a lot of people are wanting, including myself. I would love to see a Old Man Blade-esque type film, like Ryan mentioned.
But yeah.
When he spoke about it. But again, it's still on the side of unlikely. It's not in the middle. It's not likely. It's at the far back. But then Blade's even further, to be honest. I say Blade. Yeah. Tell you what, I'll say this. I say this is a 15 to 20% chance happening. I know I said 10%. I'd given Blade 4 a 5% chance of happening.
All right. And that's fair enough. And look, guys, I want to say before we move on to the next topic, me and Kyle are both fans and we want to see everything. If it's good, that is.
It's good.
And I'm also in the realm.
Someone who's a bit worried. I'm just a bit worried, obviously, with what happened with Disney Plus and just shitting out all these shows, these new characters, and it didn't really work.
But I'm also in the realm of believing with this.
I don't want them to fall back into that.
I'm also in the realm of believing with this, they wouldn't waste their time on it if they wouldn't put their resources into it. Someone would have to come to them with a good script. You know what I mean? And like, be like, all right, let's chuck 60 million at this. Let them do the thing. I don't think they're actively looking to do it, but if someone can come to them with a great idea, I think they would. I think they'd give it a shot. So yeah,
we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. And like I say, I'm 50-50 now. So if it don't happen, I was right. If it does happen, I was also right. And that, children, is a lesson on sitting on the fence and always picking the winner. So, let's get on to the final topic, Kyle. You're going to love this one. Timberlake Nelson has been speaking about Captain America Brave New World, and he said it's very grounded. It's almost like Logan. One thing I want to say is Timberlake Nelson, I love you. I think you're a great actor. I am very excited for Captain America Brave New World, more so than most people, I think. But shut the fuck up, this is not gonna be like Logan. Logan is one of the greatest comic book films of all time. I just don't see that translating into this. What do you think, Kyle? Do you think Captain America Brave New World is gonna be like Logan?
Maybe it's got an element of, a road trip-esque kind of thing, but again, that still doesn't make any sense.
A fly trip.
So... Huh? A road trip.
A flying trip.
What?
A flying trip?
Oh, right. No, that's really stupid. But no, it would have to legit be on the road.
Really
to
stupid.
have a very, somewhat of a similar vibe to Logan. Still, I'm excited for this film. I'm looking more and more forward to it the more I sort of see of it and more I hear about it.
So you're telling me this isn't going to be like Logan?
No.
I'm 50-50 on this. I think there's 50% chance.
I'm 5% chance.
Yeah. No, look, this... From what I've seen, and I've liked what I've seen, I don't think this is going to be like Logan. Now, look, actor in film tries to sell movie. Great story. But one thing I do take away from this is, obviously, Timberlake Nelson cares. He knows the world. He knows the films. He knows what people would regard as a quality comic book film. So, yeah. But I do think this has got... So hear me out. I think this has got more chance of being like Winter Soldier. And I rank Winter Soldier higher than Logan. But I think this has got no chance of being like Logan. But I still think Logan would be better than Brave New World. If you get what I'm saying.
No.
Let me break it down
That
for you.
doesn't make it...
Let me break it down for you. What I mean is like similar beats and stuff like that, similar tone, but just because it's got, a similar tone doesn't mean it's going to be as good as Winter Soldier, which is what everyone else is saying about Brave New World. It's like Captain America the Winter Soldier. It's like Captain America the Winter Soldier. That seems to be the marketing push for this. So, yeah.
It could just be, again, a really weird marketing thing, because obviously Deadpool and Wolverine and how successful that is. It's got Wolverine in there, it's got Logan in there, so yeah, let's try and fucking tie this film to that other film's success and be like, it's like that other film with that character in this film.
Yep, with the old man with Alzheimer's and the little girl with bone claws. No, metal claws. Yeah. No bone claws on this one. Well, metally bony claws.
Love metally bony claws.
I just love metally boners.
Nice.
Yep. Right. I think that'll do us for today, Kyle. What you want to add? What you want to say to the people?
No, seen Alien.
We've seen
Just
Alien
find it
this
that'll be
week.
fun.
Yeah. You don't want to say, oh, thank you guys. We've had so much channel growth lately. It's been amazing.
You've just said it for me.
I just wanted to say, guys, wow, over our last 28 days, we've got so much watch time and views and subscribers. It's making my winky hard.
It's making my winky hard.
I'm clipping that. Uh, so,
Hell yeah.
yeah. Right, guys, thanks for watching. I love you all, every single one of you. Even if you're about to leave a nasty comment down there, just know that someone loves you, and that someone is me. Kyle hates you, but yeah. So the people leaving the nasty comments, he loves all our viewers. So if you want some Kyle love, subscribe.
Mm.
And I don't mean he's going to send you out a jar of cum, because that'd be weird.
Jesus Christ.
Right, see you later.